good at gloves.
How's it going, everyone? This is the camera guy, Cody, Lisa's son, but Pinky Lee Designs, and there's Pinky Lee herself.
Hi!
So, today, what are you planning on wanting to do there, Mama?
We are getting ready to work on some dragon eyes. I'm going to experiment with some stuff. I'm hoping maybe we'll make it work, make them look a little different. We shall see what they turn out. My alcohol sprayer broke. It's funny. Have you ever seen a sprayer get globby? Anyway, alright, so I have some that are already done with the pupils, but I'm going to do up a couple really quick to show you how I did them. A little bit different, and I'm not using anything really special as far as the eye goes at this point, just because we're experimenting. So these are just your basic dollar store glass bauble things, but you can see they're not real good as far as being flat on the back, which is no big deal, because when you put a clear coat of clear polish on there, those little bubbles and things seem to go away after they're painted. So it doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, so let's get started. I just lined up a couple of them here, and I have my favorite little bottles. I love these things, and I don't know where to find them anymore. I got them from, believe it or not, when e-cigarettes first came out. These used to be used for filling the little tips of the bottles. Anyway, I use them for paint. And this paint is, oh, I forget the name of it. Createx paint for airbrushing. But I'm going to put a little bit in the middle, and then I'm going to drag it out to each end. Now this is where you get creative, and you can do like a diamond shape. Dragon's eyes aren't perfect, and they are a mythological creature, so you can make them look like whatever you want. You can make them as big as you want or as little as you want. And this one doesn't seem to want to come out too nice looking, so we're going to make it a little wonky. We can do it, make it do some pretty funky things here. Let's do that.
Alright guys, so also another thing I'm going to throw down there in the comments. Sorry for the bunch of movement, but also throw down there in the comments if you guys think that me holding the camera, I know I'm not that steady, if me holding the camera is a good idea, or you guys think we should use a tripod. We're just kind of working with things for right now to see what's going on, and to try and give you guys a better view and better outlook on things. But give me a second here. I got the piece of plastic that is hurting my hand right now, so give me a second here. It's gonna be a little shaky. Alright, that's a little better. And tighten up the camera a little bit. There.
Something else that I do on some of these is I create a white reflective dot. I don't know, you see in people's eyes the light reflecting off of the pupil. I create a fantasy dot, which is not a normal reflective dot. So I'm going to take my dots here and I'm just going to do a couple extra like that. I don't know if you can see. So there's that. I'm going to set that to the side. You can do any different pattern you like, but they turn out really interesting. They give more interest to what the end result looks like. And because I'm using something, it's a paint, it's not a nail polish, enamel. So when I actually use the nail polish, it's not going to dissolve when I put the nail polish over the top of everything, so it's not going to smear along with the polish, and it's not going to what's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to stretch out. A lot of what I do is just kind of play with it, so it makes things a lot more fun. It's easier for me to just sort of go with the flow. It's fun. So let's just go with it, see what happens. Okay? So I've got one done. The rest are already set up. We're going to put these off to the side and let them dry. Let's go with the ones I already have. Let's make some colors. Oh, and here's the other thing. I have long tiles that I picked up from Home Depot, which makes it a lot easier for me to move this stuff around. See, now I can just pick this guy up and move it over. I'm going to slide it over there, and now it's out of my way, and I can do some more. Oh, and I always keep baby wipes handy, which I refill. I have a big one that I keep refilled. Whoops, gotta have my chocolate, people. Anyway, I refill it, but I also add alcohol in here because a lot of the paint and things, baby wipes are great, but it doesn't always clean up the paint and stuff. And oh, I use marker a lot, and marker cleans up better with alcohol. So I put alcohol in my baby wipes. It just works so much better. Alright, so here's some of the ones that I've already made. And I'm going to turn these over so you can see my white dots. See how some of these I've got look on the pupil? See, there's one I put a lot on there. Let's see, catch that.
Those little white dots are like the reflectant off of like the moon or any kind of light. So that's why they're there.
However you want to put that, what you think about it. These things are really durable. See that pupil? That's not a normal pupil, people. See? Have fun with it. I love it. Good stuff. See? Big ones and little ones. However you want to go with it. It is yours to do. Be creative. Now here's the other fun part. Colors. I love color. This is why it's fun. Now I'm just kind of picking up on a lot of this myself. And we're going to play. Now we're always going to have a real thin clear. It's real runny. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. Anyway, it's really runny. It'll help loosen things up if it starts to get really thick, and if it starts drying really fast, you want to thin it out so you can scrape it down a little bit. Use that, put some on there. It'll make things mushy again. You can thin it down. That's the way to do it. Keep that bottle of clear handy. These are tricks I've learned from being a cosmetologist, people. I used to do nails all the time. Believe it or not, these are tricks I learned from doing something else. I have worn a lot of hats in my lifetime, and I am putting them all to use all at once. Alright. Using light colors and dark colors to combine something together. Alright. Now, the best thing that I have figured out in some of my other ones that I've done is to create sort of a silky looking base, which I don't know if you can see these colors and how they've got a reflective kind of look. I don't know if you can catch that. But if we put that down first, it gives it a really interesting base background. So we're going to put these down first. And around the outside edge is really cool. So we're just going to go and just go around. And we're going to kind of keep going and let it spin. And a little thin right there. Kind of want to get it as even as we can. And you see I'm just sort of doing it about 1/8 of an inch on the outside edge, because I want to give it that sort of like a haze on the outside. We're going to set that one to the edge. Now this one I think I'm going to go in a little bit all the way around, from the pupil all the way out. Because this one is just going to be all over. And I'm doing it a little gloppier. And you can't really see a whole lot right now, but once it dries, watch this. Believe it or not, we're going to put this dark color on here, but then we're going to scrape a bit of it off. You'll see. A very interesting effect. It'd be on there, but then it kind of would be all scraped off. It's a process, that's for sure. A little bit of a messy one sometimes. But you gotta put the lines in it, or it won't look like an eye. And of course, you know, they everything gets sticky and it gets everywhere. I don't know if you can see how that's reflecting. Ka-ching! See, it's going to get all over you. Now, I don't have any nail polish remover handy, but I do have acetone. Acetone it removes nail polish and things of that nature a lot faster than nail polish remover. It's actually what nail polish remover is made of. Alright, so we're going to come in with this color and do the same thing over here. I'm going to go in a little farther than I did on the other one. I always tell everybody, you want to get me something, get me nail polish. I don't have nails anymore. Well, I do sometimes, but currently don't have nails anymore. We're going to do the same thing here. And you should remember to wipe off your tip. Whatever you're using to scrape it with, it doesn't have to be an awl. It could be a needle, it could be a straight pin. Whatever you're using, just remember to wipe it off periodically. Because if you don't, all you're going to do is drag whatever is on the tip of that into what you're scraping, and all it's going to do is make it more gloppy, and it's not going to leave a line. It's just going to make it like a big drag mark. See how that's all gooey?
Let's see right there how it created it a slightly bigger. Watch,
Yeah.
quit moving it, Mom. Trying to get the camera to focus. You see how right there decided to make a really big spot? It's probably you guys want to try very hard to keep that tip constantly clean.
Here, I'll try to do one on purpose.
There you go.
Oops. So drag that through and it'll just pick up and make a big old scrape mark. It won't make a nice clean line on the other side. Oops, I have to hold this up. So instead of making a nice line back there, it'll be real big wide marks. Some cases it doesn't really matter a whole lot because it's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect.
Sometimes it can make it very unique.
But it can make it a problem if it's not what you want it to look like.
Oh.
Careful, it'll stick to you. When you're working with stuff like this, sometimes everything sticks to you. And you don't want to do, see, I'm doing like 2 at a time. You don't want to do too much of this in advance because you have to lay your base color down and then you're working your iris colors. And then because you're working in towards the pupil to make that iris look more realistic, and you're working out in layers to build it up to the back. But you don't want to work it too many at a time because as it dries, it's solidifying onto the glass. And if you leave it too long, you won't be able to scrape it and it won't look right. It'll just look really, it'll look like you've tried to scrape something off the back of a piece of glass. It won't look like you put something together. It'll look like you made a boo-boo. You wanted to try to scrape it off. So, I normally don't do more than 2 at a time. 2 different colors, or sometimes I'll try to make 2 look identical. It never happens. It's really hard to make 2 identical eyes. I tried to make a pair of earrings one time. Almost perfect, but I knew they weren't. My customer didn't know. They thought it was absolutely fabulous, but I knew where the mistake was at. That is the privilege of being the artist. You know where your boo-boos are. Okay. What color's next? Oh, and that's something else you could do too if you want to leave something in the comments below. If you want me to try something specific, like if I don't know a certain color, or if you have something silly or colors, combinations, let me know. Because sometimes I just get lost in colors, or give me some ideas if you want something silly or fantastic, or yeah, just leave a comment below. We'll see if I can try it out. Anyway, okay, this is where you want to try, if you're gonna put like your glitter stuff, this is where you want to put glittery things on if you're gonna do that, because you can put a glitter in there, it's not gonna stay really glittery because again you're still gonna scrape some more of this off. You're going to scrape a couple of times before you're finished. Let's see. I think I want to put some red on here, but I'm not sure if I want to use that blue or if I should use the green. Let's try the green in there. I don't know if that'll work or not. Let's see.
It's also another thing you guys can put down in the comments too, is what do you guys think she should put together for colors for the eyes? What would be interesting to see and what would be something more likable that you guys would like?
What comes next on these things, in another video, is using them in a project, wire wrapping, and then polymer clay, also making them in a necklace, putting them on different projects for journals, bracelets, a cuff bracelet, big cuff bracelet. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go ahead all the way up to the pupil with this. Let's see what that looks like. Get this done. And then we'll figure out how much we want to scrape off.
I guess it's going to look really awesome. With that red and the purple. Either that or next time try to do the... I don't know. Because you can't do black with the pupil.
Well, sometimes you put a layer of black on after we're all done to give it depth.
Yeah.
To make it, the eye look like it has some depth. Now you can see the red through where I've scraped from before. We're going to let that dry for a minute so it kind of settles in with the other color. See, if I hold it up like that, you can kind of see through it, but if I hold it down and give it some shade behind it, it looks darker. And if it's going to be used in something, it'll definitely have the darkness behind it. So, and with this, because I don't want to scrape the white off completely, and do it like that. I'm scraping more in the middle, not so much on the outside edge. A little bit to the outside in some spots. And scraping in the middle and then to the outside. Scraping in the middle and then to the outside. sometimes it works better on one color than in another color. And sometimes let's see, maybe that there. Turn it around a little bit. There. You still see some of the glitter. You see some of what you did before. Alright. Let that dry for a minute. Alright, let's do some green on the blue. Okay, green on the blue maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, let's see. What is this one look like?
Nah, it's just blue on blue now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look right.
Let's try some green in here.
I would.
Blue, green, green, blue, blue, green. Hazel blue. I'm just going to dab that around in the middle. Let me do that. We're not even going to scrape this one off because I'm just putting this around in the by the iris there. Be right in the center. You think?
I'm gonna need a little bit more darker.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna have some more layering, color layering in it anyway.
Okay.
So put that over there. Let's see.